So the tape measure is basically like an extra set of eyes for carpenters. It sees things our normal eyes can't detect and reveals truths where we would otherwise be left to guesswork. But it is surprisingly easy to misuse a tape measure, and I know that many newcomers don't handle it quite right. So in this video, I'm going to explain the 5 most common tape measure mistakes. This video will be great for beginners. And if you are new to carpentry, be sure to check out our free guide, The Ultimate Carpentry Checklist. This interactive ebook details all of the most important topics in carpentry. And we'll even throw in Lumber Explained, our free guide to the lumber aisle, a surprisingly complex topic that we break down in detail. You can get them both completely free in the links below. Alright, the first tape measure mistake that I see people make is marking under the curve. The tape measure blade is curved, which helps give it rigidity or standout. Basically how far the blade can reach without folding or breaking. But the blade curve does make it a little harder to mark measurements because it raises the edge of the blade off your surface. So I see a lot of newcomers putting their pencil sort of beneath the curve and marking their spot that way. This really isn't optimal. Instead, you want to roll the blade down. This brings the markings down to the material surface where you can transfer them directly. That's much more accurate. And mistake number 2 is similar, marking too close to the case. I see a lot of newcomers pulling their measurement, then fiddling around trying to bend the tape down so they can mark really close to the case. But this tends to make your tape unstable. The casing will just get in the way of your eyes or hand. Instead, just pull out the tape several inches farther than you need, crimp it from below with your finger, and roll the blade towards you to mark. Or pull it out even farther and lock it, then pin the tape carefully in place, roll the blade, and mark. You want to make sure you're not coming off your pulling point when you do this. But drawing out a little extra blade when you pull makes marking easier. Mistake number 3, sighting at an angle. Some people will draw a tape to a measurement point and then look down at a slight angle to read it. They often do this because they would otherwise have to move to read it more directly. But it is very hard to get a good tape reading at an angle. You can easily be off by a 1/16 of an inch or more, and that's an accuracy killer. You always want to look directly down on the tape to read it. Imagine there's a plumb bob descending from your eye directly to the measurement. Read from this vantage point, and even waver side to side slightly to make sure you're actually centered over it. That's the point you want to read from, even if it requires moving. Mistake number 4, pinning the tab. As I've said many times before, the tab on the tape measure is supposed to wiggle. This is because the tab has a thickness, about a 1/16 of an inch, and that has to be factored in. When I butt the tab to something and pull, the measurement includes the tab thickness. When I hook the tab to an edge and pull, the measurement subtracts the tab thickness. Either way, it's doing what it has to do to keep the measurement accurate. But every now and then, I'll see people messing up this process by manually pinning the tab in or drawing it out at the wrong time. For instance, they may be butting to an inside corner and pulling a short measurement, and they'll sometimes push the tab forward to keep it in place and then draw the tape. But this is wrong because it's elongating the measurement. Instead, you want to pinch the tape from below, force the tab into the corner so it squeezes in, and pull the measurement while it's under pressure. Or they may try to pull from a marked point, and they'll sort of squish the tab in, try to line it up over the mark, and draw the tape. But the odds of keeping this accurate are slim. Instead, they should really do something like put the 1-inch mark on the line, make the measurement, and subtract an inch. Or put the 2-inch mark on the line if it's easier, and subtract 2 inches. In either case, you should always be thinking about what the tab should be doing to get an accurate measurement, and either let it do its job, or remove it from the equation. And mistake number 5, angling the tape. People discount this one as obvious, but I still see them do it all the time. And this usually occurs when someone is measuring a larger piece of material. They'll hook on somewhere, draw the tape, and make a mark or measure to a far edge. But because the material field is big, they don't realize that they're subtly angling the tape. By introducing several degrees of tilt, they're actually elongating the measurement. This can throw it off by a 1/16 of an inch or even an 1/8. To avoid this, make sure that your tape is perfectly perpendicular to the edge you're pulling from. You can often line it up by eye with the lower perpendicular edge, or if that's not possible, you can also just swing the tape a bit. The shortest point you see is the accurate measurement. This is so important, I'll even do it on narrow pieces of lumber. I'll pull near a straight perpendicular edge and use it as a guide for the tape blade. This makes the process foolproof. But those are the 5 most common tape measure mistakes that I see. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. And again, be sure to get our free guides, Lumber Explained and the Ultimate Carpentry Checklist, down in the links below. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll consider subscribing. I'm Ethan James with thehonestcarpenter.com. I'll see you next time.